Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of English for Communication final exam. Firstly, I would like to thank you to Allah that has given us everything. So this time we can be here and do our activity. I also thank you to Miss Rahmatia Fitari as our lecturer and all of you for this great opportunity. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fithnatia Khoirunnisa as the moderator. In this meeting, will be divided into several sections. In each section, there will be two sessions. The first is a presentation by the speaker for 5 minutes, and the second is question and answer session by the audience for 3 minutes. And we have 6 speakers. There are Mr. Aditya Eko Saputro, Mr. Ikhsan Zaki Hidayat, Mr. Rifaldo Sujono, Miss Elisa Anggraeni, Miss Rima Nurkhasanah, and the last is Miss Fithnatia Khoirunnisa. Before we started the presentation, let's pray together begins. Now, moving along to our first section is about make a car prototype. Please welcome our first speaker, Mr. Aditya Eko Saputro. The time is yours.
Okay. Previously, I would like to thank the moderator for giving me the opportunity. Well, let me present my material and how to make a car prototype. For the first, let me introduce myself. My name is Aditya Eko Saputro. My major is Chemical Engineering Department, Class B, in English Communication course. Let's just get to the topic of our material. Next. Okay, for the first topic is introduction. This prototype car is made of wood which is varied by good colors so that it can be sold and can be used as children's toys. Next. Okay, materials used to make prototype car. For the first material is thin wood of various length and thickness. For the second is small nail of various size. And for the third is wood paint. The next is wood glue. And the last is 2 pieces of long iron stick 10 centimeter long. Next. The tool used to make prototype car is, for the first tools, is saw, the second is hammer, the third is brass, and for the last is paint plate. Next. And then how to make a prototype car? For the first step is prepare and cut wood with a saw as shown below. The first is car head, that's a 2-part, and the next is wheels, that's the 4-part, and the third is car body, and the fourth is windshield. For the last is car head cover, and the back of the car, that's a 2-piece. The second is combine all the parts, that's combine all the parts of the wood using small nails to form a car frame. Next. The next step is make a hole in the wheel of the car and unit with using a long thin iron to make it blend perfectly using wood glue. The next step is combine the wheels on the body of the prototype car. After the car is finished, then paint it with colors so that the car looks more beautiful and attractive. You can color into red maybe, and the green maybe, blue, and etc. That's whatever for you want to use the color. And then use your creativity in this case to that the results of are satisfying. And then for the last step is when finished in the coloring, dry for 2 hours in the sun. Next. Then, how can this car be a product of chemical engineering? Of course, it can. We just need to add spare part to the car. For the first spare part is vessel. The vessel is used a container for wool that we will use because without wool, the car cannot run. And the second spare part is water regulator. Because our wool produces gas, the tools, we need a speed conversion of the output gas so that the car can be adjusted to the speed and to accommodate the water products from the remaining gas. And the third spare part is mechanical valve. And the next is cylinder pneumatic to move the wheels. And the last is safety valve to prevent overpressure. The car can run using hydrogen peroxide and kalium dichromate as catalyst. Next. Okay, that is the example about the result of prototype car. Next. Okay, maybe that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks for your presentation. And now is question and answer session. If there are a great audience who want to ask, please open the microphone.
Excuse me, I want to ask to Mr. Aditya Eko Saputro, what is the name of the reaction? What is the name of the reaction on the car? Thank you.
Okay, please, Mr. Aditya, to answer the question.
Okay, thank you, moderator. The name is reaction, decomposition reaction. A decomposition reaction is a reaction in which a compound breaks down into or more simpler substances. Most decomposition reactions require an input of energy in the form of heat, light, or electricity. Enough.
There any more question?
Okay, Mr. Adit, I want to ask, what are the raw material used to make the vessel?
Okay, please, Mr. Aditya, to answer the question from Mrs. Rima.
Okay. Why do I use stainless steel? Because this material has so many advantages, including the first is easy to clean, and the very strong, non-corrosive, multifunction, and etc. Enough.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, good job, Mr. Aditya. For the next, the second session is about facial mask. Please welcome Mr. Ikhsan Zaki Hidayat.
Okay, thank you for your time, moderator. First, I want to thank you for coming to my presentation. Nice to meet you all. Introduce me, Ikhsan Zaki Hidayat from Chemical Engineering Ahmad University. Here I will compare both the analysis, the facial mask. Next. What is face mask? Face masks are beauty masks in the form of gel, fuzz and powder which are applied to clean and tighten the skin, especially facial skin. Systemically, face masks act to stimulate the circulation of blood and blood flow, stimulate and repair the skin by acceleration the regeneration process and providing nutrients to the skin tissue. Next. As for the benefit of face masks are deep cleansing, brightening facial skin, detoxification, rich in nutrients, and soothing power. Okay, next. Purpose. The purpose of the mask is the face mask is able to provide freshness as well as improve blood circulation and open the pores to produce and clean facial skin optimally, so that it leaves a feeling of freshness, beauty, and relaxation. Next. There are several classifications related to face mask, namely a powder mask, gold mask, gel mask. Next. Candy cream mask, tissue mask, and the last fill-up mask. For the dosage formula for making the paste usually is a kaolin 18%, tea 3%, carbonate 12%, and rice starch 5%. Next, for the manufacturing method, and the first add the kaolin, then add the starch, add magnesium carbonate, add tea by spraying it, sieve with a sieve number 100 fine powder is obtained, and the last add tragacan. Next. It can be concluded that face masks are cosmetic that are used at the last level in the core of facial skin without problem. Increase the level of cleanliness, health and beauty of the skin, repair and stimulate skin cell activity again. Evaluation were carried out in the manufacture of material including organoleptic examination, determination of water content, and particle size distribution. Next. Thank you for your attention. Back to moderator.
Thanks for your presentation. Answer question. If you want, please open the microphone. Okay. If no one asks, I want to give one question. The question are Christmas suitable for men? Please, Mr. Ikhsan Zaki Hidayat answer.
Okay, thank you. Actually, the face mask itself is suitable for both men and women. Yeah. Next, any question?
Are there any more questions?
O- Okay, I want to ask Mr. Ikhsan Hidayat how to make a face mask with other method. Thank you.
Uh,
Please, Mr. Ikhsan, to answer Rifaldo's question.
okay, I will to answer the list of question. Of course, there is, but I'm less familiar with other methods. Okay, thank you.
Good job, Mr. Ikhsan. And and then we go to the third presentation. This is about making liquid washing soap. Please welcome Mr. Rifaldo Sujono. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time, moderator. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rifaldo Sujono. I am from Indramayu. Mm, okay, in this presentation, will will discussion making washing soap. Introduce this washing liquid soap is soap made from a surface active substance as a base. The transforming active substance can change the phase voltage of a solution. The special properties passed by the active substance are wetting, foaming, and emulsifying properties. Washing is the process of cleaning a solid surface with the help of a washing solution through a chemical physical process called detergency. The main characteristic of detergent work is to moisten a dirty surface and then release the dirt. Liquid detergent usually use organic solvent as a complement and enhancer of the detergent's need for impurities that are difficult to remove a grass. Okay, tools and material for making this soap. For the alkyl benzene sulfonate, then caustic soda, and foaming again, and kitchen salt, and dice tube, and tap, and fragrance. Next. Okay, by procedure is add and mix the enamel and some sodium sulfate 1000 ml in a bucket and stir continuously until homogeneous. Then add distilled water little by little to 50%. Then enter the component and stir it slowly. Then add a mixture of citric acid and 50% air. Next. Then enter the remaining 50 ml of sodium sulfate. Then add 5 drops of dye or to taste. Incorporate a mixture of propylene glycol and perfume according to the desired taste, like jasmine, blueberry, lemon, and rose. Adding EDTA and the remaining distilled water a little while continuing to stir. And liquid soap that has been put in a bottle to be used. The soap must be left for about 20 hours. The time it is usually used for saponification reaction. Next. Thank you for attention. Any question?
Thanks for your presentation, and now is question and answer session. If there are audience who want to ask, please open the microphone.
Yes, I want to you. Can the selling price of liquid soap be competitive with conventional liquid soap?
Okay, please Mr. Rifaldo to answer the question.
Okay, thank you for the ask. I want to yes, because the production price of this soap is relatively low when compared to conventional soap. So the selling price is also low.
There any question more? There any more question? I'm sorry. Okay, I have a question to you. How is the quality of this soap when compared to conventional soap?
Okay, thank you for ask. According to the due diligence we have done, the followers are obtained according to the applicable standard in Indonesia. Thank you.
Good job, Mr. Rifaldo Sujono. And next, for the fourth session is about disinfectant. Please welcome Miss Elisa Puspita Anggraeni. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for coming in my presentation. It's great to see you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Elisa Puspita Anggraeni. I'm from Ahmad Dahlan University. In this presentation, I would like to present about disinfectant. First, I will explain to you about disinfectant. Secondly, about tools and materials. Thirdly, instruction for make a disinfectant. And finally, additional information. First, about disinfectant. Disinfectant is a chemical that can destroy microorganisms but cannot destroy bacterial spores. Disinfectants do not kill all microorganisms, but reduce the number of microorganisms to a limit that is not harmful to health. Disinfectants are not used on the skin or mucous membranes because of the risk of irritating the skin and potentially triggering cancer. Next. There are 5 important ingredients in disinfectant which kill pathogen cell and kill bacterial and virus on the surface, namely quaternary ammonium, alcohol, formalin, potassium, and phenol. For tool and materials, tools, sprayer, measuring cup, mixer, tablespoon, bucket, scoop. And for materials, clean water, type of disinfectant, sodium hypochlorite, liquid or powder, 1 tablespoon for 1 liter of water. Next, uh, instruction for make a disinfectant. First, mix water and the type of disinfectant according to the dose. Second, the solution is stirred until homogeneous. Put, put the solution in the sprayer and the last spray directly on the surface of the object or use a clean cloth or tissue to wipe. Additional information, the work of disinfectant or antiseptic materials can be influenced by several factors such as concentration, contact time, pH, type of microorganism, contaminated area, organic matter, and formulation. Um, Thank you for attention. I return to the
Thanks for your presentation, Mrs. And now, it's question and answer session. If there are audience who want to ask, please open the microphone.
Okay, I want to ask about something which is can disinfectants kill the coronavirus? Enough, moderator.
Okay, please make Elisa to answer the question.
Okay, thanks for your question. Disinfectant can still prevent the spread of the coronavirus effectively when used appropriately. By spraying it on the surface of object, not directly on the body, you can use different I'm sorry, you can use disinfectant to clean frequently touched surface such as door handle, cell phone, table, TV remote, or sink taps.
Thank you, Miss Alisa.
You're welcome.
There are any more questions?
Okay, Miss Elisa, I want to ask, what is the difference between disinfectant and antiseptic?
Please, Miss Elisa, to answer the question.
Okay. But are used as cleaning fluid put in the world of hot and everyday life. Food are also made of special chemicals to kill germs and as cleaning agents. However, both of them have different duties. Antiseptic is used to clean the body from bacteria and germs. It can also be used as a sterile to treat wounds. Some oral medicine also contain antiseptics to kill bacterial infection in the body. Generally, disinfectants are used to sterilize objects from the growth of germs and bacteria.
Okay, thank you, Miss Elisa.
You're welcome.
Okay, good job, Miss Elisa. Next, for the fourth session, is about making hand sanitizer. Please
Well,
welcome
thank you.
Miss Rima, Dian, Nurkhasanah. The time is yours.
Well, thank you for the Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Let me introduce myself. I'm Rima Nurkhasanah from Ahmad University. Here I will present on how to make a hand sanitizer. Next. What is hand sanitizer? Hand sanitizer is a liquid or gel commonly used to reduce pathogen on the hands. Next. Tools and material for making hand sanitizer. Tool number 1, container. Number 2, mixer. Number 3, beaker glass, 1000 millimeter. Number 4, funnel. Material. Number 1, ethanol, 96%. Number 2, glycerin, 98%. Hydrogen peroxide, 3%. Number 4, aqueous. Number 5, essential oil. Next. Okay, material introduction. Aqueous. Aqueous is water that comes from the distillation process. Hydrogen peroxide, 3%. Hydrogen peroxide is the simple peroxide, is used as an oxidizing agent, whitening agent, and antiseptic. Essential oil. Essential oil are vegetable oil that are viscous at room temperature and are volatile, giving a distinctive aroma. Ethanol, 96%. Ethanol is a kind of liquid that is volatile, flammable, colorless, and is the alcohol that is often used in everyday life. Glycerin, 98%. Glycerin is a colorless, odorless, thick liquid that tastes sweet and is non-toxic, that has antimicrobial and antiviral property. Next. Okay, let's procedure making hand sanitizer. A total of 830 millimeter of 96% ethanol is put into a 1000 millimeter beaker. Add 41 millimeter of 3% hydrogen peroxide to the measuring cup. Next, number 3, add 14 millimeter of 98 glycerol. Next, number 4, add water until the total volume reaches 1000 millimeter. And next, number 5, put it in bottle, and hand sanitizer is ready to use. Okay, thank you for your attention. Back to moderator.
Thanks for your presentation, and now is question and answer session. If there are audience who want to ask, please open the microphone.
Okay, Miss Rima, I want to ask, what are the effects of excessive use of hand sanitizer?
Okay, I will answer a question from Rifaldo. Excess use of hand sanitizer causes irritation and dryness of the hands.
There any more question?
I wanna ask about something, Miss Rima. Why do you have to
Okay.
use alcohol in making hand sanitizer? Thank you.
Okay, I will answer question from Mr. Adit. Because alcohol is believed to be able to kill various kinds of bacteria and virus with a minimum level of 60%. Thank you.
Okay, good job, Mrs. Rima Dian Nurkhasanah. And finally, for the last section is about how to make aromatherapy candles. Which I will present myself. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Fithnatia Khoirunnisa from English for Communication B. First of all, I want to say thank you to Ms. Rahmati Evitasari as a lecturer, and I want to say thank you to the audience for giving me attention. Aromatherapy candles. Who doesn't love candles? The homemade aromatherapy candles make the ultimate relaxation gift and the perfect use for everyone. You just need wax, wicks, and essential oils. Essential oils are what help you make homemade scented candles, meaning you can customize them yourself. But if you ever made candles, you will know that they don't always turn out perfect right out of the gate. Because essential oils candles aren't loaded with the fake skin. They might not be as fragrant as you are expecting. Or if they do have a fragrance, you might notice the skin start to fade over time. But that's a good thing. Today, I'm sharing my best for making homemade aromatherapy candles, as well as way you can avoid making the same mistake I have the habit of making every single time. Here's our today topics. For the first is choose a slow burning wax. While you might not think about it, wax hold their skin differently. Some such as beeswax burn slowly and release a soft skin in their own. Others, like paraffin wax, are inexpensive and unscented, but they burn quickly. Since essential oils are naturally less fragrant than chemical skin, you need to choose a wax that retains skin longer and release them slowly into the air. That's why I recommend use soy wax. Soy wax burn slower than paraffin wax, so your candle lasts longer and it burns cleaner, resulting in less soot and smoke in the air. Not only that, but soy wax hold into natural skin longer and release them slowly while the candles burn, so your candles smell better longer. For the second is choose a hot burning wax. Soy wax is great at holding into skin and releasing it over time, but it doesn't get very hot, meaning it doesn't release a ton of skin as the candle burns. For that, you will need two hot burning wicks. Hemp wicks burn hotter than cotton ones, so they release more oil into the air as the candle burns. Make sure to choose all natural wicks that don't have a metal center paraffin coating. But if you're trying to save money and you already have some wicks and some wicks on hand, just use whatever you have. You can always add more oil to your candles to boost the skin if needed. For the third is pick strong essential oils. Aromatherapy candles are effectively essential oil candles. You will need to add about 80 until 1020 drops of essential oils. Yes, this seems like a lot, but it divides across four candles. The amount will depend based on which essential oils you choose. About the benefit of different essential oil, Feel free to mix and match too. Just add the oil directly to the melted soy wax. Personal preference is important when making candles, but so is the potency of your oil. And especially if using a softer fragrance, you make sure your candle still has some skin. And if you have kids or pets, always do research beforehand to make sure your oils are safe to use. The last is how to make skin candles, but before we make aromatherapy candles, this is where mistake happens, so pay attention to this final step in making aromatherapy candles. Cut your wicks are longer in length than the vertical height of your jar. You can cut them down after they have set. For the second is secure your wicks with anchor by placing a bit of wax at the bottom of your empty jar and then pressing it into place using a chopstick. For the third is use a chopstick or a pen works too and place it horizontally along the top of the jar. Tape your wicks to it so that it's upright, ensuring that it's completely straight. If it's not straight, it will burn all funky. For the fourth, pour your wax directly into the jar so it fills to just below the lip and surround the witch. Always pour your candles into your jars over newspaper. Otherwise, you will get wax everywhere. And cleaning wax off your stove is not fun at all. Trust me. For the fourth, for the five, this is very important. Do not pour leftover wax down your drain. This was not a fun lesson to learn. And the last, you can leave your candles to set in a cool location and it will take about an hour. Cut the wicks down before burning. Now that you have got all your tips, let's make some homemade aromatherapy candles. This is the ingredients to make your own candles aromatherapy. There are 6 cup soy wax flakes, natural wicks, anchor optional, 80 until 1020 drops of essential oil, 9 ounce mason jar or jars, wood stirring device, pan or chopstick for securing wicks. This is the instruction for making a candle. Melt soy wax in a pot over low-medium heat. The salt melts fairly easily but turn up the heat slightly if taking more than a few minutes. Stir using wood stirring device. I use a chopstick. For the second is once melted at 80 until 1020 drop of your favorite essential oil. Amount depend on type of essential oil and how potent they are. For the third is anchor wicks to bottom of mason jar using a bit of wax. Tape which upright to a horizontal chopstick or pen. For the fourth is pour wax into mason jar and then repeat until all jars are full. Next, depending on size of mason jars, you may have some leftover and let stand until solid about 1 hour. And the last is cut wicks to desired length. So this is the end of my presentation. If you have something to ask, please open your microphone.
Okay, Miss Fithnatia, I I want ask apart from those already mentioned, are there any other reason for using soy wax?
Okay, thank you, Miss Rima, for your question. Uh, the other The other why I recommend using soy wax is candles made from soy wax can burn cleaner with little soot release as the candle burns. They are also non-toxic, so they won't release toxic as they burn. Like that, Mr. Rima. Have there any question?
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay, Miss Fithnatia. I want to ask about how about the aromatherapy candles? Can you explain about it?
Thank you, Mrs. Elisa, for your question. For me, fake candle may smell good, but they will do a number one, your looks and heart. And if they use paraffin wax and metal wicks, they are cracked out toxic substance, such as heavy metal and petroleum byproduct, which have been shown to cause things like cancer and organ damage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Elisa. And we are finally come to the end of the meeting. Before I close the meeting, I would like to say thank you to speakers for the information and interesting presentation and all the participants for your I'm sorry, for very active participant. Hopefully, the information that we have shared today will be useful for all of us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Wow.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.